Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. Let's talk about SmackDown. Now, I'll talk about the Bloodline. I know that's why you guys clicked on this video. Let me talk about a little bit what happened before and after that. So Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis had a back and forth. Pretty much to sum it up, Cody Rhodes wanted to fight Kevin Owens for doing the pile driver to Randy Orton. Nick Aldis says, we can't let KO around here. We got to figure this out eternally. That's WWE's new favorite word, eternally, when it comes to Kevin Owens. They want to figure out what to do with KO eternally. KO did a video package or just a FaceTime pretty much later in the show saying, they banned me for doing exactly what I was told to do. Randy Orton told me to come out and do a face-to-face with him last week. We did. I ended up pile driving him, but that's what Randy asked me to do. And so KO's really playing this heel character very well. Like, it's not my fault. I'm just doing what I'm told to do. So I really like this KO heel run. I think it's going to be interesting to see how him and Cody go this time around. We had the women's triple threat between Candice LeRae, Bayley, and B-Fab. Solid match. Bayley ends up getting the win. We had a U.S. title match, LA Knight against Humberto, which was pretty surprising to see Humberto get a title opportunity, but I'm okay with it. He looked pretty good in the ring. He's a hell of an athlete. I've always liked Humberto's wrestling ability. Unfortunately, he's just never really connected with the audience because they never really have him do much that's relevant, or he doesn't really speak English very well, or whatever the case may be. But good match. It's good to see the U.S. title being put up in open challenges. We had a tag team title match, Motor City Machine Guns against Street Profits. A few other things happened on the show. Obviously, the Bloodline had a few segments like they always do. Before I get to that, I'll talk about this main event. Nia Jax and Naomi. I almost said Bayley, but Nia Jax and Naomi. Great main event. Had about 15 minutes. Did some cool stuff. That spot they did in the corner where it looked like Nia was about to slam Naomi on the mat. She reversed it into a spin and like landed on her. That was insane. I didn't even think Nia Jax could move like that. That was crazy. But Tiffany Stratton was out there. Didn't really tease a cash in. Thank goodness. They've really been OD with that lately. So I'm, for one, happy. I've said in numerous videos before how they've just really been OD with these Tiffany Stratton cash in attempts like they did with Priest before. So it's good to see her out there rooting on Nia Jax. She ends up getting attacked by Bayley when she tries to get involved. Naomi hits her finisher. Nia kicks out, and Nia hits her finisher for the retaining 1, 2, 3. And Nia is still your women's champion. Now let's talk about the Bloodline, right? They were trying to recruit. You saw Sammy talking to LA Knight, and then they end up having a meeting in Roman Reigns' locker room. If they say Roman Reigns is on his way to SmackDown, and Jimmy or Jay says, you got to make that phone call, Oos. And we don't know if that's Cody Rhodes. We don't know if that's Seth Rollins. We don't know if that's The Rock. But all of a sudden, they're sitting there, and Solo's music and him on the TV screen pops up, and the new Bloodline comes out. And Solo talks about, how everybody needs to acknowledge him. And after he says that, Roman Reigns' music hits, the crowd goes crazy. Out comes the OG Bloodline, and we have a 4v4 stare down. And then they get in the ring, and an all-out brawl breaks loose, moves everywhere, dives, super kicks, everything you'd expect between a brawl like this. And, Roman Reigns is starting to take advantage. He hits a few Superman punches, hits a spear, and all of a sudden, him and Jacob Fatu are in the ring, get ready to have a stare down, or having a stare down. And Bronson Reed attacks Roman Reigns. Not somebody I expected. I did think a few days ago, or yesterday actually, I was like, okay, there's a 5v5 match happening. I've heard a lot of criticism, like, why is this match a 5v5? Definitely could see why a lot of fans would criticize that, because it doesn't really need to be a 5v5. I think a 4v4 War Games would have been fine. But I was thinking, okay, maybe KO and Cody enter on both sides, but KO helping any Bloodline story wouldn't really make sense. Then I was thinking, would they do Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins? I mean, Seth Rollins said he wouldn't work with them, but if Bronson Reed joins the other team, that gives him an incentive to join the OG Bloodline. So I think that is very intriguing. But Bronson Reed attacks Roman Reigns, and the new Bloodline just takes over. They do finish it on everybody. They're doing frog splashes and Samoan spikes, and Jacob Fatu doing his moonsault and tsunami from Bronson Reed. They just destroy the OG Bloodline. And that's a dangerous unit right there. When you put Solo, obviously some of us take Solo more serious than others. I sometimes don't take him serious, but he's actually been pretty funny lately. But Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed being on the same team is crazy. That makes them just a destructive team in the War Games. So it's cool to see Bronson Reed involved in this. I think that's a smart move. You put him in another main event match. Now you can do the story for a week or two. I think November 29th is when Survivor Series War Games is. You can have Rollins say, nah, I'm not joining. But they say, but your main rival right now, Bronson Reed's on the other team. You don't have to help us, but your main rival is on the other side. Join us and you get what you want. You get to stomp Bronson Reed's head inside the War Games, and you get your vengeance for everything. I think that's a great story. I saw someone on Twitter say, "Oh, this is ruining the whole match." Like, does it? Because I mean, it adds more to the story. Like Rollins doesn't want to work a Roman Reigns in the Bloodline, but now if he wants to face Bronson Reed, he's gonna have to. So I think that's a really cool story. So let me know what you guys thought about that below. Before we wrap this story up, unfortunately, we had some tragic news in our podcast. I'm gonna try to get emotional here, but Money, if you guys might have seen him in a few of our videos. He was like in 2 or 3 of our podcasts, but he unfortunately passed away 2 weeks ago. And all condolences to Money and his family. I've known Money since 2012 on WWE 12, so we've known each other for a long time. It really hurt hearing about his passing, man, because I didn't really hear about it. I messaged him on Discord and Snap. I didn't hear from him. So, and I ended up finding out he passed away. So, rest in peace to him. We'll probably have an episode dedicated to Money in the future because we've all known him for a long time. Some of us, not really me, but some of the people didn't really like Money or didn't really get along with them. But you never want to see that happen to anybody, obviously. So, rest in peace to him. Again, condolences. And like I always say, I always tell everybody this, you don't know what people are going through. So always look out for people in your life and make sure they're doing well mentally. And mentally, a lot goes on in people's heads that you don't know about. So it's always check up on people. And I wish I would have checked out with Money a little bit more the last few years, and it was just sad to hear about that. So rest in peace to Money. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.